Well, I thought I'd make a short video with my cook kit. I did a brief summary, kind of an overview of my pack gear in general. But I'll talk about my cook kit here. And I'm trying to talk a little bit quietly. We've got some neighbors now that moved in just up the street here. But anyway, so I use one titanium pot, and I can't even remember what size it is. But I have everything I need in here. So I mentioned I used a soda can stove, and this is it. And I'll provide a close-up of it. But I made a whole bunch of these. It weighs 0.3 ounces, so makes it great for ultralight camping, backpacking. But I use the alcohol stove. I like using it when I'm not staying out for very long, because you got to carry the alcohol, obviously. And there's kind of a diminishing returns as far as the lightness goes, as well as when I'm with a buddy, then we'll split up the jet boil and one carries the fuel. But when I'm by myself for a couple nights, I carry a little bottle of alcohol. This is denatured alcohol, and you can kind of pick it up anywhere. And I use a little NyQuil measuring cup. The 30 mils is 1 ounce, and usually takes, I don't know, half to 3/4 of an ounce to get a couple cups to a boil, depending on the water temperature and stuff. And then in here I have a little mini Bic lighter. That's my backup. And I just have like a little flint deal that I like using, just it's fun. As well as then I don't have to turn the Bic upside down or risk spilling out the alcohol. And then I've got just a heavy-duty piece of tin foil that I use for a windscreen, because these alcohol stoves are certainly affected by wind. So I'll set it around it. I'll heat up the water in here, and I'll pour in the food, the dehydrated food, or soup or whatever I've got, and just set it right on the stove, and it works like a champ. And with the lid, it boils in no time. So I'll get it lit, show you kind of a close-up of the flame and all that kind of stuff, and then I'm going to make dinner. And while that's happening, now I will build a fire ring for tomorrow's night's dinner. Hopefully I'll have some fish. Okay, so I put about 3/4 of a cup or of an ounce into the stove, and I've used my flint, and it is going. It's one thing you always have to be careful of with soda can stoves, or alcohol stoves in general, is you can't see the flame, but you can feel it. And now you can start maybe seeing it to flicker. And as it warms up, the gases in between the double wall of the soda can will start to heat up, and you can see now the flames will start coming out of those holes as the gases warm up. And so what I like to do is hold my cup over it just to warm it up a little bit, because if you put on a cup that's completely cold before the stove is fully warm, heated, it can snuff the stove out a little bit. So let me see if I can get it on there. There you go. So that's it. Well, I don't have it in centered, but that's all I do. And I'll put the lid on. That will obviously make it heat up faster. And normally, like I said, I would put that little windscreen around it. Helps keep the heat in and all that kind of stuff, and the wind out. But it's pretty calm right now, so wanted to do it so you could kind of see the flame, how it works. But it'll take maybe, I don't know, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. I only actually have 1 cup of water in there now that I think of it. It might be a little bit faster. I've just got half of freeze dried, so I'm going to let that cook for a little bit and start arranging the rocks for a fire ring tomorrow night. So as you can see, I had a little excess. Already got the water to boil. I've already got my freeze dried in there, so I just rehydrate it right in the same pot that I heated the water in, and makes it super simple. One of the things that you might or that you didn't see is that I repackage all my freeze-dried, so I put them in a sandwich bag, a Ziploc bag, so I'm not carrying all those big bulky pouches and all that tin foil that doesn't burn. So it really decreases the amount of volume and the weight that you're packing, and it makes it just much more tidy to have the freeze-dried in when you repackage it. So all I need to do is stir it up a little bit here, and I've got a little pine needle or something there. Got to get that out. That was in, and then just let it rehydrate, and I'm good to go. Let it sit for about 10-15 minutes, and that's it. Dinner is served.